Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Global Economic Outlook. My name is Philip and I will be taking you through some of the major events in the global economy. Today we have two main stories, which is that Texas has been paralyzed by power outage, and the second one is about Nigeria's inflation rate, which is at 16.47%. We strongly believe you need to evaluate your investment strategies given this very high inflation rate. But let's start with the first one. Texas, the second biggest state in the US by both area and population, has been thrown into darkness, which is, of course, as a result of an extreme weather conditions. So all the sources of energy in Texas have been hit by this, and there's a lot of snow, in fact, affecting all the power grids in Texas. At the peak, sometime last week, about 4.3 million people were affected by this power outage. And if you look at it, we show you the breakdown of the customers disconnected during the peak US outage. That was on the 16th of February. It's really, it's really massive because 60% of the people in Texas actually depend on electricity for heating. Now, not only do they not have electricity, they are also hit by snow. Some people have already died already as a result of this condition, and it's really, 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 really sad. But it also shows the vulnerability of whatever system it is that we adopt. Is never foolproof. Any natural disaster or extreme weather condition can leave any country exposed. This is the US we are talking about, and even they are not immune. You also see how Texas generates its electricity. About 46% of its electricity is generated through natural gas, 23% via wind energy. Then you have 18% coal, and then nuclear and solar makes up the rest. So of course, this has a great impact on the global oil market because Texas produces about 40% of the oil in US, and US is actually the biggest producer of oil in the world. They make up about 19% of the total production in the world. That's in 2019, according to Investopedia. Which means that 4 million barrels of oil being lost as a result of the situation in Texas, and experts already expect that up to 16 million barrels could be lost even into March. OPEC has been managing production quota, which has helped to increase the price. But now that there's a small shortage as a result of the situation in the US, it remains to be seen how high the price will go. Because, of course, increase in price can be either as a result of increase in demand or shortage of supply, and both will be working together here. Which is so we wait and see how that plays out. But we suspect that the prices might hit new levels this year. So in Nigeria, the inflation rate has hit 16.47%. So if you still hold investments that yield less than that, you need to evaluate because it's been on the rise. It was 15.75% in December 2020, but now it's risen to 16.47%, and it's worse when you look at the food inflation subindex. That's at 20.57%, and when you look at the things that have experienced the greatest increase, they are the daily things that people eat on a daily basis. You see bread and cereals, fish, potatoes, yam and other tubers, vegetables, meats. These are just basic. There's nothing, extraordinary about this, but these are the things experiencing the biggest increase, which means that everybody will feel the impact. The fixed income market is not yielding enough, so you might need to take a little bit more risk now in order to preserve your capital. So that's it for the two main stories. But we also report that Nigeria has exited recession. The GDP in Nigeria grew by 0.11%. in the last quarter of 2020 after 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. That's good, but the impact is marginal. For now, no one can really feel it yet. But that's the way it is. Then Okonjo-Iweala will be assuming the role of WTO, the World Trade Organization Director General, on the 1st of March. Our tenure is for 4 years till 2025, but it's renewable actually. And in similar manner, Master G.E.O, is Senegalese, has also been named the Managing Director of the International Finance Corporation. He's also the first for Africans. So other things, Ford is working to make the entire European vehicles fleet electric by 2030. Everyone is just going along that line, since that's the best option right now. They expect that by 2030, everything in their fleet in Europe actually will be electric. And then Goldman Sachs in the US, they're introducing an app to investors for as low as $1,000. In the past, they've always focused on the rich and the wealthy, but of course, everybody knows that you need to change your strategy sometimes in order to be able to capture a better part of the market, which is what they are doing now. So that's it on the global economic outlook. We conclude it. We talk about the best places to visit in the world. We already talked about the first 10 last week. So this week we talk about another 10, which includes destinations like Barcelona, New York, Sydney, and Florence in Italy. So that's it on the global economic outlook for this week. Join us next week for further updates. And remember to subscribe to the channel. See you next week.